Centurion Wanderers should give you that little bit of extra bounce, but yes, the two first wickets were, I suppose, in a big picture, you want to even test yourself. You know, you might get a slow wicket in the World Cup. So, from a looking ahead point of view, a good challenge for us, but certainly from our own condition point of view, a little bit slow. That you'd rather want something a little bit more pace and bounce. Especially if Dwan Willefeu is bowling, you know, trying to bowl some pace and the ball's not really getting up, you're taking your X factor away from it. But I'm expecting Centurion and Joburg to have a little bit more consistency and bounce. Yeah, it's just we looked at Dwan and he's bowled a lot of overs over the last while, and physically you could sense that his body was getting tired. He just dropped a little bit in pace, and that's understandable. The amount of overs that he's bowled over the last 3 weeks, and especially if 95% of them are bounces, it will take a lot out of your body. So, yeah, not ideal in the sense that he played those first 2 games on slow wickets, but it's about looking after him as well. The message to him is go and rest a bit, go and relax, give yourself a little bit of a break, not bowl too much balls at home, and then that engine is full and ready for when Sri Lanka comes back or they come here for the test matches. The fact that Lungi got injured opened a slight gap to have a look at who's the next guy. So when Lungi's not playing, now for the first time you actually have game time available to look at different bowlers, because if he was fit, we would have possibly played. We wouldn't have looked at as many bowlers because there wouldn't have been opportunity. So you would have gone on probably a bit of gut instinct and looked at who is your best extra seamer and picked him. But because he's not available now, and it's especially this series, because the next series obviously Lungi will be back. So it's about just having a look who else is out there. Obviously we know now with Paro what he does. He bowled really well that first 4 or 5 overs with a new ball. Dwan has got X factor and pace. Other guy we've mentioned is not Kia. He's got that X factor and pace. So he's also still in the back of our minds, trying to see if we can have a look at him. And then Buren is a left-arm seamer that swings the ball. So because we know who our 3 is, and there's been an injury, it's just allowed, I suppose, a bigger pool of fast bowlers, which was never the plan. It's just because Lungi is injured now. You're giving yourself a little bit more of a look at the rest of the guys. The issue with that is it's one position. So what we did in the first game is we tried to look at having both, because you are playing games to see who is going to be your number 7. But what happens then if you play both of them? Then there's a similarity in your bowling attack. You know, you have 2 medium pacers bowling from overs 10 to 30. So then you lose a little bit of that edge in terms of having your proper fast bowlers bowling together, and that's why we changed Pato in the previous game. Dwayne bowled really well in the first game. He was the most economical bowler, but we like the balance what we're trying to go with the 4 seamers and the 7 batters. Or the 3 seamers and a spinner. So that's why we changed Pato. But the challenge now with the all-rounder is you only have so many games. So at the moment, Andy played really well the previous game. So you have to run with that. You have to give him another opportunity to do that. And then over the course of the other 2 games and then Sri Lankan series where there's 5, you know, possibility of looking at 1 or 2 more and then make a decision on that. It's not ideal, but I think because certainly from a batting point of view, you need someone to say, this is that I'm scoring runs consistently. As soon as someone does that, then it will make the gap a little bit smaller for the other rounders. At the moment, so Andy has done that the previous game. So if he can keep doing it, then obviously then he puts his name right at the front of that. But yeah, I mean, Dwayne is still there. Vian Mulder is still very much in our plans, and then Chris Morris is still there. Well, obviously Murray has been injured as well the whole time, but yeah, those are the 4. As we said before this series, you know, you're looking at guys like Risa, Aiden, almost like there's a shootout between the 2 of them, and it's harsh. But now you've added Rassi as well. So there's a lot of competition in the batting department, and Rassie has taken that with both hands. He's obviously scoring runs, but the how that he's scoring runs is also a big positive for us as a team. What I do like about Rassie as well, he's very versatile. He can bat anywhere. So if injury happened on the day, you can move around your batting line pretty easily with him. So he's done very well and made life tough for the rest of the players as well. Yeah, we've just been a little bit rusty in both departments, batting and bowling. We haven't put even close to a performance that we did in Australia. In Australia, that last game we played was very, very good. But as I said, the injuries does take you a little bit back. Obviously, taking Quinton out of the team, taking Dale out of the team, taking Lungi out of the team, you're not playing your best team. And for me, that's okay, because we still, the guys who are playing in their spots are guys that will be guys that makes up for the 15 that goes to the World Cup. So it's been a blessing in disguise that we could look at more players, and someone like Rassie has come through. If Quinny wasn't there, it would have been a little bit harder, because Risa and Ash are still there, and they also need a good chance. So yeah, it's given guys opportunity. So for tomorrow, it's just a little bit more consistency with bat or with ball, or both. We haven't had in the first game we batted well, but there was an opportunity to push on. We didn't do that. The second game we started badly, but then we reacted very well through the middle there with a great partnership. And the same thing, first innings with the ball, or first game with the ball, we were a little bit tentative, and we were just not as effective in trying to get wickets. And the second game came back with real clarity and a purpose to try and get wickets. And the bowlers was on it the whole time to try and make sure that they're thinking the whole time is seeing how they can get wickets, and that was clear for me to see.